Good evening, everybody. My name is Chris. Welcome to our TutorABC Common English Errors series. And today we'll be talking about ago and from now. Basically, you must understand is that, well, speaking of time, a lot of people have problems using the right words when defining the time. Like, for example, ago and from now, or since and before, or until, or even till. And today, basically, we're going to make it clear so that you know which one should you use at the right time. Okay? So we're going to be teaching you, in this session, we'll be teaching some expressions and the way and the order of words that we should use when you're trying to express the time of the event or how long this event has been in action and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Alright, so let's start. First of all, we'll talk about the word ago and since. And as you figured from the title, we know that we use ago and since when referring to events that have happened in the past. But although both of them are used to describe something that happened in the past, they are used quite differently. Okay, although in Chinese they may seem to be the same. You see, these two sentences basically have the same meaning. All right, for example, the first one here, I went to Florida 5 years ago. And this sentence here, it's saying it's been 5 years since I went to Florida. Okay, if you look at these two sentences, technically, according to the timeline, this is now, okay, right now it's the year 2008, and 5 years passed in the past, 2003, I went to Florida. Okay, these two sentences basically are marking or describing the same thing. I went to Florida. Okay, I went to Florida. But the structure of the sentences are completely different. Okay? You see, some people might say, I went to Florida 3 years before, because in Chinese, you would say before. But before should go in front of another time or event in a sentence to answer the question, before what? Okay, before what? So you see, here some examples are, I went to Florida 3 years before I moved to California. Before I moved to California. Okay, so if we continue, look at the timeline over here. Okay, you see, I went to Florida 5 years ago. I went to Florida 3 years before I went to California. So in this case, we should say, okay, we can say, all right, I moved to California 2 years ago. Okay, so you see, if this event happened in the year 2008, this happened in the year 2006, and this happened in the year 2003. Okay, so depending on how you want to describe it, you'll be using some different words with the words before, ago, and since. Okay, so remember, okay, let's come back here. Okay, if we come back here. All right, since basically is describing, okay, you see, let's look at the sentence here. It's been 5 years since I went to Florida. Meaning, it's been 5 years, it has been a period of 5 years the last time I went to Florida. Meaning, for this 5 years period of time, I didn't go to Florida. The last time I went to Florida was 5 years ago. So most of the time when we use the word ago, we're talking about a very specific time on the timeline.